so we can all join you.
This time I will do. We will find a good person with a good voice in the future one. Okay. So this is the prayer which our beloved master or teacher MP King Faji had written. वह शक्ति हमें दो दयानि दे, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे, पर सेवा पर उपकार में हम निज जीवन
सफल बना जावे। वह शक्ति हमें दो दयानिधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे। हम दीन दुखी निबलों विकलों के सेवक बन संताप हरे,
जो
है बिजुड़े भूले भटके, उनको तारे खुद तर जावे। वह शक्ति हमें दो दयानिधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर हट जावे।
छल द्वेष दंभ पाखंड झूठ
अन्याय से निश्चिन दूर रहे, जीवन हो शुद्ध सरल अपना, शुचि प्रेम सुधारस बरसाए। वह शक्ति हमें दो दयानिधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे। निज आन मान मर्यादा का प्रभु ध्यान रहे, अभिमान रहे। जिस देव भूमि में जन्म लिया, बलिदान उसी पर हो जाए। वह शक्ति हमें दो दयानिधि, कर्तव्य मार्ग पर डट जावे।
Thank you. So it is such an honorable day that even our Ravindra sir has joined. So it is such a honor to me that such great personalities have joined the session. So thank you very much, sir, for joining. Okay. So last time we had discussed about key, and this time we will also continue a little bit about key, and then we will take up the meridian. Those who are not speaking, can please, if you could please mute yourself. Okay. So we had discussed up to this slide the superficial bio key and deep bio key or deep bio energy. Okay, so next we got to know that the key enters in two ways. One is through the earthly key, which is via food, water, and air, and the other one is the superficial or heavenly key, which is coming from cosmos. So let us see there are what kind of movements or the flows of key is there in our body. So let us assume that there is a pipe, and within that pipe water is flowing. So the okay, I request those who are joining to mute. Sorry. Okay. So let's assume that there is a pipe, and within that pipe there is water flowing, and the pipe is the meridian and the water is the key. Okay, and there is a certain level up to which the optimum level to which the water should flow, and this is what that normal figure is being represented. So there is a pipe, and this dotted line is the optimum level in which the water should flow, and this here represents the water, the level of the water, and this is the direction. Whatever is the black arrow tells what is the direction in which the assigned direction in which the key should flow, and the red arrow shows that in which direction the key is moving. Okay, so I hope I'm audible, and the video is visible. Can someone say that both are okay, the voice and
Yes,
the video?
Krishna, we can,
Yes,
both we
okay,
can
great.
hear. Yeah,
Okay.
you can see clear and nice.
Okay, so the direction assigned to the pipe is this black arrow, and the direction in which the key or the water is moving is the red arrow. So both of them should be in the same direction, and the level of the water should be below this assigned optimum level. So this shows that it is normal. So what all can happen in from this normal is what we will try to understand in today. One is what can happen is the water is flowing in the right direction, but more water is flowing. So that is what is showing you over here, the excess condition. This is the optimum level, but the amount of key which is flowing in the pipe is more than the optimum level. So we call this as the excess condition. Okay, so pretty simple to understand. Excess key, more water is flowing in the pipe, or more energy is flowing in the meridian. So what is the next is less than the optimum. So this is the optimum, the dotted line, and the amount of key flowing in that is less than that optimum. So we call this condition as deficient condition. So the energy is flowing in the right direction. The only thing is the amount of key is less than the optimum, which is called as deficient condition. And it has two variants to it. The deficient condition has two variants to it, depending on how much it is less, how much the key is less than the normal. If it is little less, we call it as deficient. If it is more less, then we call it is sinking. The key is sinking. And if it is very low, then we call it as the key is collapsing. All the three are less than the normal. One is, this is slightly less, this is more less, and this is extremely less. So deficient key is sinking, and key is collapsing, right? So normal, excess, and deficient, and in deficient two varieties, deficient, sinking, and collapsing. So let's move to the next variation. This we come to the stagnation. So in the there is a pipe, and water should flow in the pipe. If the water is just stagnant, it is not moving, it is just sitting, then we call it as stagnant stage. Okay, there is pipe, and this is the optimum level, and the key is just not moving. So you can see the direction of arrow in both the things. We generally consider the stagnation to be excess condition. I have just shown it as in the optimum level, but it could be slightly above the optimum level. Okay, so this is the stagnation of the key. The most common that we come across is liver key stagnation. Okay, so this is slightly higher. Because there are very new students to the acupressure field, I am coming to the very basic level of giving the understanding. Okay, next is contravection. So the assigned direction of the key is this, the black arrow, but actually the key is moving in the reverse direction. So this is contravection. The ideal example is the food that we eat should go from the mouth into the stomach. But when there is nausea or vomiting, what happens? The food comes from stomach back into the mouth. So the direction of food is supposed to be like this, but the foot is moving in the wrong direction or the opposite direction. This kind of conditions we say it as contravection. And the last one is obstruction. So what is this obstruction? The key is moving, but key or body fluids. Okay, here it can be blood or any kind of body fluid, the phlegm or anything. So the key, for example, we will take the key is moving, but there is some kind of obstruction. So the key is not able to flow to the next stage. Very little key is flowing. Generally, a good example could be that, say, if the tank, the overhead tank gets emptied by any for any reason, and you once again fill it, what happens when you open the tap? The water will not flow properly because we say that there is a air block, right? Air is something very kind of invisible thing, but yet it has the power to block the flow of the water. So we open the tap, only small flow of water will be coming, and we know that. So the air is blocking the flow of the water. So something similar, you can consider some energy is blocking the meridian, and hence the key is not able to flow properly. Either it could be a phlegm which is obstructing, either it could be some kind of excess energy, hotness or anything which is obstructing, and the later part of the meridian is not getting enough proper key. So these are the conditions of the key in the meridian. So normal, excess, deficient, and in deficient there are two levels, sinking and collapse. And the next one is stagnation, where the key is not moving properly, it is just a kind of stuck. Next is contravection, where the key is moving in the opposite direction to the assigned direction. And the next one is obstruction, where the key is being obstructed by some kind of energy or body fluid, so the key is not properly flowing to the next level. So until this, after this I will move on to the meridian. So until this, anybody has any questions? So everything is clear, everybody is okay with this? Okay, so I will move to the next content, which is the meridian. So are you all able to see the meridian PPT?
Yes.
Yes, okay, fine, great. Okay. Okay, so does this slide create some kind of question in your mind? Any question is coming in your mind when you see the slide? Or everything looks normal?
Flow of wind through different holes, like in the flute.
Okay, instead of showing a meridian, why is this person showing a flute? Does this question come in your mind? If not, it should come. But I am trying to show the example of flute and try to explain how the meridian works. There is a lot of similarity how the flute works and how the meridian works. Okay, let's try to explore it. Once again, I am in every class, I am trying to write this statement. Since these are unexplored topics, please take it with a pinch of salt. I may be wrong in some places. Okay. Okay, so let's get into the mechanics of meridian. So before that, we will try to understand the mechanics of flute. So what is happening in a flute? So the air is coming inside the flute and the same air is flowing, and depending on which hole the air is coming out or the air is being accessed, depending on the permutation and combination, or depending on the which hole, the sound which comes out of the flute is different. Okay, if the air is coming over in this, okay, please give me a moment.
You have muted yourself, Krishnamurti, can't hear. Unmute yourself, please, Krishnamurti, no voice coming.
Sorry, I had muted purposefully. Okay, just a moment. Okay. So, okay, back to, sorry for the interruption. Back to the flute. So the air is coming in and the air is coming out. Depending on the location, the air is comes out. The sound which comes out of the flute is different. The same air is producing the different sounds. It is not different sounds. Sorry, different airs which is producing different sounds. It's the same air. Okay. So using this analogy, we will try to understand the meridian. Okay. So let us take the same thing. Instead of air, let us assume that ki is entering the meridian. Okay. At one point, the ki enters and it flows, and in 5 different points, the ki exits. Okay. It is not exiting, it is basically accessing. Okay. So to compare with the analogy of the flute, I'm saying something enters and something comes out. Okay. So we know that what is ki? Ki is a summation or an combined energy of 5 individual energies of the 5 different elements. Okay. So here I am showing that these are the 5 combined energies, and that combined energy gets into one of the point, like the air enters the flute and then it flows, and there are different points in which that the ki can be accessed. This is a very rudimentary way of explaining it. There is far more complexity to this. Okay, but I am not getting into the complexity now. It is only a very rudimentary understanding that I am giving. So the ki enters, and I have shown that the ki can be independently accessed. See, if I want to access coldness, there is one particular point through which I can access coldness. If I want to access heat, through which one point I can access heat. The same with the others. So there are 5 energy combined getting into this, and independently I can access these 5 energies, and these 5 points are called 5 Shu points as per TCM. Okay. So when I say the heat can be accessed from this particular point, it doesn't mean only heat comes. Other 4 energy also comes, but heat is predominant. Okay, let's say heat is 70%, and in the remaining, or say heat is 80%, and the remaining 20% is being shared by the other 4 energies. It is something like that. It is not only heat. Okay, as I had mentioned in the previous class, it is always the ki is a combined energy. Only the ratios of these 5 independent energies vary. Okay. Now let's go to the next slide. So here we see that the point through which the ki from the cosmos enters, we call that point as horary point. Okay. I am not getting into any of the detailed explanation. It is only simple explanation that I am giving. Somewhere the energy enters, and that place where the energy enters, we call it as the horary point. And it goes and it can be further accessed later on. Okay. So we know that what is a horary point? It is a point through which the ki enters the meridian. So there is some more details to it. We will probably discuss little later. Okay, next. I will take an example. So up to this, we were following the flute model. Something enters, something comes out here. Okay, but we will slightly add some more complexity to it. Let us take one example of a spleen meridian. Okay, those who are new, don't worry about all the complexities that I am telling here. Just understand the logic. There is spleen meridian, and spleen is assigned to humidity or earth. Okay, those who are in higher semesters, they understand. Okay, or those who have completed first semester know this. So there is spleen meridian, and it is thus this meridian is assigned to earth, and the earth's energy is humidity for all practical purpose of this slide. So we are only talking humidity. So what is happening? The humidity is entering through this point, and this point is the orrery point of humidity, humidity channel, or the spleen channel, or the spleen meridian. So I have shown the direction bidirectional. It means that the energy is entering. So this meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay, so the Zoom 40 minutes restriction is kicking in. So after 10 minutes, the Zoom meeting will end. So after 10 minutes, we will rejoin with the same user ID and password, or the same link. Okay, so the humidity enters through this point, and the humidity can also be accessed through this point. So for a humidity meridian or a earth meridian, the humidity point is the horary point. Okay, I have mentioned it is, so whichever is the element point of that meridian. Say for example, if this meridian is a earth meridian, the earth point of that 5 shoe point will be a horary point. If you don't understand this, don't worry. So, and if it is, for example, if it is a wood meridian and the energy of that wood is wind, so the wind will become the horary point of that particular meridian. Okay, so I hope up to this point it is clear. So we will get to the next slide. Okay, so here I am trying to simplify it further. I have taken out all those 5 shoe points, and I have only kept 3 points. Okay, to show that at one point the energy enters, and in one point the excess energy is stored back into the reservoir in the human body. So this is coming from cosmos. So from cosmos, say if 10 unit comes and our meridian requires only 8 units, so there is 2 units extra. So what happens to the 2 units? The 2 units gets into a reservoir. There is a lot of details to all of this. We are not going into any of those details. For as of now, you only consider this to be a reservoir which is inside a body, and to that reservoir, that excess 2 units of Ki gets sent, and through which point that excess energy is sent to the reservoir is called as a Z-clef point. Okay, where it enters is called horary, where the excess is sent to the reservoir is called Z-clef point. In between this coming and sending, there is some modification which is happening to that Ki, and that modification is called as organ source point, where the Ki is kind of modified to the required specifications. And this point is also a master point of that particular meridian. What happens at this point is very interesting. So it is something like this, snack maker you all would have seen. Okay, where at this point what happens? The dough goes in, and depending on the die which is at this end, a different the dough takes a different form, right? So the place where the dough enters, it is the same, but depending on the die, the way that the dough comes out will be different, right? The same thing is happening where the dough enters, or where the energy enters the meridian, the orrery point The energy is the same for everyone. The key which exists in the cosmos is the same for every particular individual. But that energy has to be modified according to that individual person's specification. We know that different organs are dominant or deficient in different people. In some person, heart may be dominant. In some person, spleen may be deficient. Or in some person, liver may be dominant. All that modification, where does it happen? How does, say, heart become dominant in one person? Because the key which enters the meridian is same for everyone in the universe. But how come something it becomes different is based on the die, right? The dough is the same, but the output is based on the die. So what is this die? So as per this example, this is the organ source point where it gets modified, and for that particular organ, say if this is a heart meridian, this is a very important point to which that heart draws energy from. Okay, at this point it is slightly complex knowledge that I'm giving. Those who don't understand, just ignore it. So those who have crossed a second semester will be able to correlate this. We know that whenever a person is born, the kidney essence is brought by that person. And what is there in that kidney essence? The essence of that individual's person's energy is there. And based on that essence, and that essence goes and sits no along with the key, even that essence is being sent in all the meridians, and that essence modifies the key. So in this analogy, what we can say that the dough enters here and the essence is like a die over here, and the essence comes and sits here, and based on the key which comes, the die modifies that key and then it flows further based on the essence of that particular person. In another word, what happens is, I can say our karmas. Okay, our karmas is very closely related to our kidney essence. Okay, so our karmas comes and sits here, and based on the our karma, the energy gets modified and it further sends into the body, right? All, say the food, say two people eat say same apple, but that apple gets if one person is fair and one person is dark, let's say, or one person is tall and one person is short, the same apple turns into a fairer skin to one person, and the same apple turns into a darker skin to another person. How come it is happening? It is the same apple or same food, but the output is so different. In some person it is turning into a male body, and in some person the same apple is turning into a female body, and for some person it is turning into someone who has a straight hair, good thick hair, it is turning into a good thick hair, and into some person it is turning into a curly hair. Where is all these different parameters getting into that particular apple? All of that is happening into at this organ source point. And what decides that one person will get a fairer skin, one person will get a darker skin, one person will get a taller body, one person will get a stronger bone, one person will have a stronger heart, one person will have a stronger spleen, one person will have a deficient liver, etc., etc. All the what determines the shape of the eyes, what determines the shape of the nose, what determines the tone of the voice, every single atom is determined by our kidney essence, or in another simple word I can say it is determined by our karma, and that karma is like a die, and it gives the shape to the key, and it goes further, and then that further energy is stored into the reservoir. Okay, this point, up to this point, I hope it is clear. Now our meeting will end shortly, and let us rejoin to the meeting as soon as this ends. It will probably end in a very short period, and afterwards we will try to take up the Q&A, or we will get into more elaborations if needed in the next session. Okay. Okay, so let's wait until the session ends, or I will end the session and then we will rejoin. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, so let us, I think, let us start the Q&A. Just give me a minute. So anybody, those who have any question in today's session or any of the previous session, please do ask your questions.
Krishnamurti, my chance?
Yes.
I just have to ask one thing about your kidney essence you talked about just now. Is it, am I audible?
Okay, those who are not asking the question, please.
Those who are not asking, please mute. I'll just finish in a minute.
Okay, I will mute
mute
everyone.
my.
Please unmute yourself and then ask, ma'am.
Yeah, I've unmuted myself. Others who unmuted at the same time. So that's the problem. Okay. Now the question is here about kidney essence. Please bear with me, everybody. 1 minute. I just want to ask these questions. You talked about karma. May I add? Actually, what we talk about is the genetic map that comes from our parents. Yeah.
Yes.
So I understood as that, and you have said about karma. Please clarify. And I think it is essence that comes from parents, and it's a fixed pool. You cannot change that, you know. So you're beautifully explained that the food essence that we take from outside, which is the continuously changing one source of ki, would be naturally altered by your genetic map or your kidney essence. Very nice. Did I understand it right?
Yes, exactly, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Got it right.
Yeah. So if in treatise 7, Khemka sir has mentioned that the kidney essence cannot be changed, but it can only be enhanced based on good deeds. So in treatise 7, sir has mentioned, and as Sushila Kamath ma'am told, it is our genetic mapping. Okay, and our karma decides the entire our genetic mapping. Exactly. Okay. Okay. So anybody else who has any other question?
Sir, namaskara.
Namaste.
Sir, ಈಗ ಇದು ಸ್ಪ್ಲೀನ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಇದು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಒಂದೇ ಹರಿಯುತ್ತೆ ನಿಜ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು. 1 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ನಿಮ್ದು ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ, ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
ಸರ್, ಈಗ ಸ್ಪ್ಲೀನ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಸ್ಪ್ಲೀನ್ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾ?
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು, ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ
ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಹೌದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪ್ಲೀನ್ ಇದು ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ,
ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಫೈರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು.
ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Okay, the question was, if it is a spleen meridian, should the humidity be more compared to other 4 energies? The answer was yes. Say if it is a heart meridian, the fire, the heat will be more compared to the other 4. Any other questions?
Sir, this is Sunita from Mysore, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, somewhere you used the term for wood and earth also as meridians, and the spleen with the spleen meridian, I'm confused with these are the elements with their energy as humidity, coldness, like that.
Yes.
And you have used the term meridian. Will you
You are
please
you are perfectly right, madam. Because the only reason I am not getting into the exact nomenclature is because there are some new people. We call it as heart meridian or spleen meridian or liver meridian based on the organs. It is not based on the elements.
Yes, yes.
But since I have not taught the organs, I am not. I am trying to restrain myself using those terminologies.
Okay, sir. So otherwise they are energy and element, organ with that meridians. Am I
There are
right, sir?
three things: organ, element, and its energy.
Energy. Okay.
So the
Yes.
meridians are named based on the organs, not on the energy or
Energy, element.
element.
Okay.
But the energy will be dominant in that
Yes.
particular organ, which we will discuss in the future sessions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. No further questions. I asked, in the last session, I gave you some tips on how to create questions. Did anybody try it? How to use why? Okay, I will consider myself to be successful in teaching the concepts the day when I teach a concept and there is a big flurry of questions which gets generated in your mind.
Actually, shall I ask one question, Krishnamurthy?
Please, I'm waiting for
You told if there is a poor kidney essence or poor karma as deeds, like prenatal kidney essence energy, if it is very poor, in the sense if the kidney failure or something, can we enhance OSP or Zycloft sedating? Will it be useful or we have to enhance through external food?
It is a question which is beyond today's this thing syllabus. Like I cannot give that answer over here. It will be a combination of many things. Okay, not just food or something. So yes, see the.
Is it possible that we can tonify the OSP or sedating the Zycloft? Is it possible we can gain the energy from there? Basically, the poor kidney essence, in the sense if the person has.
See, there are protocols to enhance the kidney essence. The kidney essence protocol is there, and it is not just by the many. Okay, this is little advanced. Okay, generally we use the organ source tone and Z cleft point sedate.
Yes.
And our conventional understanding is that combination is used for our infections. Say, I will go back to this slide. So what you are telling is we will tone this section, the dye. Okay. So I will make the dye proper. Say, let's say this is star is there, right? The more I tone the organ source point, I will make this stronger. But I don't want this star, but I want this multiple holes one. Just by toning the organ source point, I will not be able to change a star into this. Can I? No.
No, I don't
I can
understand
make it a stronger star. I can make it a stronger star, but I cannot make it into this. As per treatise 7, what is the method to do this? Like Khemka sir has written that we cannot change the kidney essence.
Yes, but that's what I'm asking.
We can only enhance it by good deeds. So in another way, this becomes very philosophical and beyond the boundaries of TCM. Say you keep on doing good work, and so that this star becomes this. So it may, to some extent, it may become in this birth. Let's say 10%, 20%, or 30%. you will be able to do this over here, but the 70% will get transferred to the next birth, and then there you will have this kind of structure, because it is
Fulfill the structure we will have.
the structure is already created. You can only modify it to some extent, but not to an entire extent. Say somebody is born, this is not to be racist or based on the color. Somebody is born dark, okay? But if I only modify some points, can I turn that person into dark to fair?
It's impossible.
No, it is not possible at all. But what can I do?
You can.
I can increase the glow in the dark skin. I can improve the betterment of its tone and texture. I can make it more look healthy. Like if the blood circulation improves, the skin tone and texture will improve, right? It will get more glow. That I can do, but I cannot convert a dark skin into a fair skin. It has already been fixed for this birth. So you'll have to, that person has to wait for the next birth and do good karmas.
Okay.
Okay, and it answers your
Okay.
question.
Yes, now it's understood.
Okay, great. Any further question? I see many people are unmuting themselves but not asking question. Okay. Okay, fine. I think most of them are not having question. If not question, I would like to get some kind of feedback, both positive and negative. How is it going so far? Is it adding value to your understandings? Anybody can speak.
Krishnamurthy.
Yes.
Yeah, the way you have explained with examples and showing the similar from life only, you are showing some good examples. So that is helpful, like the pipe flow and like the food examples which you are giving. So it's quite helpful.
Okay, so it is making the concepts more clearer. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have not seen this kind of explanation anywhere.
Yeah,
So
neither
is there
me.
a source where we can read more about it? There any kind of source where you can read a little bit more on the details of, like, because you were mentioning on many slides that there is a lot more detail which is behind what you're telling.
Yes.
So is there any source which we
All
can
the
refer?
things which I have been telling, I have referred treatises which is from our own Sansthan, and beyond that, it is my thinking and kind of analyzing. Okay, as I told, all of this is in a book which is not yet written. Probably if I write it, it will come. But apart from Sansthan books, there are other books which you could always refer, which is written by Park Sir, Park Zebu, or there are many books that you can refer.
Okay.
Available. But I do not know if that book will explain the way that I am explaining. It is a mix and match of many kind of knowledge, not only from acupressure knowledge.
Yeah, that is understood. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Okay, any other anybody feels that something is not right?
I think that was Madhura. There are lots of reference books, Madhura. I think it was you who asked that question.
Yes.
You know, the Yellow Emperor's treatise is the one from which all the concepts of meridians, energies, TCM is taken. So it's a huge volume. I think some people have it. So if they want for extended reading, I think it will be a good idea to refer to it. It's an expensive book. So Yellow Emperor's treatise is there. So it is rather a heavy book. But you're doing such a good job, Krishnamurthy. Congratulations. I'm so thrilled to see that you have made it so practical to understand. You know, It is in the, when you talk of energy science, it's in the, in the vague metaphysical level, but you have brought it down to the physical level and explained it. Congratulations, keep up the wonderful work. And this murku making thing has gone down very well with me. I just love it. So thank you. And Madhura, I think that was a nice question also. Do you wanted references? Let me see if I can get further references for you. I'll get back to you next time as to where you can access your free PDFs if possible. There is a site and there is a group which does this, but I have not explored it, so I'm not really going to suggest to you at this point of time. But we can read other books also. That's what science is all about. That's what, growth is all about. See, Khemkaji has translated, somebody was translated, Khemkaji's vision, if you read in Hindi, sounds a little different, particularly metaphysically when he talks about energy. The verse that he has given in Treatise 7, they say in the beginning, as you start the thing, go through it, and how nicely it has been simply said there. But when you read the same verse in Hindi, there is a different connotation. So, the actual essence is lost out. But still, I was going through again when Krishnamurti said and talked about essence, very nicely explained, very nice. So I think we need to go through our books again. And I think tomorrow is again Archana Madam's class, promoted and rather mentored by Aravindraji and our Ishan, for all the students who want to join, and he's made it a free class. I think we should, attend as many classes as possible. What do you say, Krishnamurti? We may get, light at the end of the tunnel. I just see it. It's not glowing very bright.
It is always good.
Yes. So long as you see it, and you move towards the end of it when you get it as a bright light. So thank you so much, Krishnamurti. I'm really touched to be here and extremely impressed. Keep the great work going, and whatever we can do as seniors to help you out, we're always there. Please remember.
Sure. Thank you. And it was so nice. So many of the seniors have joined. It is really heartwarming.
Hi, Krishnamurti. This is Mangalam.
Yes, madam.
Hey, I'm very, 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 very happy to be a part of this class here. Every day I'm getting enlightened, though I have studied so many things, but this much nutshell and this much clear, crisp and ideas, I have never ever studied. If I have started this much in the early, I could have reached a so higher level. But even now it is not late. And I have recommended and pressurized my sister to join by quoting that the way you used to learn and perceive things in the classes which we attended. So she is also joining the class, and she is also feeling very nice to learn in a very precise manner. For understanding these concepts, I have spent a lot of time and energy, because I am not that much good at Hindi. So it is better you can bring about a book, what you have taught, and the examples. Even a very little students, a small student can understand. Yeah, this is what we expect in our. If someone objects, I'm sorry. In Ishan, you have to take class for the beginners, not only for the beginners, for every semester, you have to take at least one day the revision like this, with these examples, with these good language. I expect and I request all the administrators who are all over here, I expect to have this person's class in our Ishan, so that the standard of the class would be, the students what we are bringing out would be higher. Because I feel very happy, I'm very enlightened, and I'm very happy to be, I'm expecting each and every class. Hope the same spirit should continue till the last class. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity to be a member. Thank you so much, Krishnamurti. Once again, I congratulate the efforts what you have taken. The efforts, really, you might have studied so many things, and you might have, I don't think so that much, what kind of time you might have spent. Thank you so much once again, yeah.
Thank you, madam. Just because a goat or sheep wears the dress of a tiger or a lion, it won't become a lion. So the
even for this I have to refer some book. Don't tell, come to
so the years of experience always definitely matters. This is just some theoretical stuff which I'm experiencing, teaching. but the amount of knowledge and the practical knowledge which our teachers give, it is invaluable.
Yeah, I am unable to understand that knowledge now. So this is so far so many people we are not able to understand because the language. I'm not degrading anybody. The thing is, you are putting it in a very nutshell and easily understandable language. That is what we expect. Nothing else I say. I want you to be one of the best coordinator in that Ishan year by conducting classes like this, because people will get interest. That is what my humblest contention. Nothing to say wrong about that either. Okay.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Okay, I see some more people who have unmuted themselves. Do any one of those have questions? Vatsalaji, Parlaji, or okay, fine. Okay, Manjula. Okay, I see only unmuted mics. Okay, fine. Okay, I think please revise this, and if there are any questions, do post it in the group, and we can take a look at those things. And as I have been telling, these sessions are still open. Anybody who wants to join, they could join. Please do contact me on this number, 96323-17950. Okay, thank you everyone, and have a good evening. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thanks.